And when you find yourself in that position, and next time around the same author brings you something else, do you look at it with fresh eyes, or is the memory of that previous?
Oh, well, I mean, again, how different. There may be a new version of it, or they may do something completely different. I mean, I think Jim Gray's an exceptionally good writer.
Right.
So, and the fact he got bogged down in a particular novel was for very particular reasons. And then he went back and wrote a novel that I knew he could write, and it was just one of the best books he'd ever written. And in a way, he was freed. His novel was just too big a deal. It had too much stuff in it. So he could free himself from that and just write this particular story that he wanted. So it was useful. So, well, we were both mightily relieved the new one was a good book. And it was a good book. So I think, it'd be a bit terrible if we came out and reviewed and said it's a really bad book. I think I would be a bit freaked by that, but that didn't happen. They nearly won the Booker.
A little bit about length. Vikram wrote, probably the most popular longest book in one of the most popular long books in the English language, and we have Hilary Mantel writes books that are fairly long, and yet this is something that one hears, don't just make sure the book's not too long.
Yeah, and this comes up. I don't know. I mean, I think books are, they've got to be the right length. Midnight Children has to be that length. If that be a short book, it would seem rather precious. I think Vikram's book tells a big story.
Yeah.
So I think as long as it holds your attention, and that told me you're halfway through a book and you're bored out of your skull.
Yeah.
It's just too long. But I've had books of 200 pages that bore me out of my skull after 100 pages. So, it's about...
Depends on the writing. And lastly, what can you tell us a little bit about the writers whom you're excited about? I mean, some of these...
Oh, yeah, there are three people, I think. Yeah, there's a woman called Mida Kedaswamy, who's a poet, who's written a book which is coming out in April about a massacre by landlords of peasants down in southern India, which I think is a really powerful book about this catastrophic and terrible incident. I mean, it's very, very strong, very political, but it confronts a major subject here. Deputy Kapoor's done a novel which Penguin are doing, which is set in Delhi, which is a tremendously modern book. It's a book about cars, about sex and drugs, and it's just I think an extraordinarily powerful and arresting, quite slim, but it just, it just goes straight, climbing. And Rosalind de Mello has done a book about her relationship with a photographer, and that's about. It's in a way a love letter to him, but it's about sexuality. It's about he's much older than her, and I found that. But it's also quite a European book, actually. So it does deal with sexuality, but in a way that the French have always done. So it has a kind of openness that I found fantastic. And three very different books, all by women, of course, all by young women, and all pushing on the boundaries of their respect. Whether it's memoir or novel or politics. Pushing the boundaries on, and in the end, they're the best books, I think.
We'll end with that the future of literature is in the women, and is with the women, I think, in India. So, David, thank you very much for being here. It was just a pleasure talking to you.
Well, thank you very much.
And I hope you'll come back to Calcutta, and you'll join us again, and you'll, I hope you have a good time here, so you will come back, and I look forward to that. Thank you very much.
Adi Purusham Namaha